ask that we please stand as we welcome the Minister of Transport, Sindisiwe Chikunga, followed by the Deputy Minister, Lisa Mangu. We also have a delegation that comprises the board chairperson as well as the board members for the RAF. We have the CEO, heads of entities are also here. So I'm going to ask that we kindly do take our seats. We will begin the program. Thank you very much. Can I just be a little bit spicy as we make our way in? I must say I was very shocked and surprised, pleasantly so, that Minister, Deputy Minister not only were on time, but were very early. And it's very refreshing, might I add. So I'm going to ask for a round of applause. Thank you so much. And no, we're not praising a fish for swimming, but we're acknowledging that things are being done as they should, which is, it's quite pleasing to see. It's the small foxes that ruin the vine. So when the small foxes are not there ruining the vine, we must give credit where it is due. I see one or two of the colleagues still making their way into the center. I'm going to ask that we do so speedily. One or two of the cameras will also give you an opportunity to do so. Thank you very much. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask that we please all rise for the singing of the national anthem. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to just acknowledge those in our midst. I've alluded to them a little bit earlier, but allow me to do so officially now. Deputy Minister, I'm told that things must be done in order. Line. So I must observe the dignitaries in our midst. Minister of Transport, thank you very much. It is October Transport Month. We'll say a little prayer for you as you crisscross the length and breadth of South Africa, serving your people well. Thank you very much. Deputy Minister, you're welcome as well. We much appreciate your time. We see the board members who are here, some of them newly elected, the good advocates, the doctors, the well-learned friends who are in our midst. Thank you very much for availing yourself. We do appreciate your time. The CEO, hot from the Clement Manyatela interview that caused a ripple effect far and wide. Thank you so much, very much for your time. I think RAF was represented very, very well on that day. Thank you very much once again. We want to thank you also for being here. The Department of Transport is here. We also have entities represented in this place. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, thank you very much. I know that I may have left one or two names out, so I must say, please consider yourself protocoled while I observe you. So thank you so much again for availing yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ayanda Ali. I like to call myself a prodigal daughter of the Department of Transport. a former spokesperson, but also the daughter of a taxi owner. So it doesn't get more real than that. You know, Guti transport is in my blood. So even if I stray away from it, I can't go too far. As I said, it is in my DNA, it is in my genes. I'm going to start by giving a short little story just to provide context as to why we are here and what it is that we're going to be doing today. I want to tell you about a lady called Nomthandazo. Nomthandazo lived in the then Sophia town. Nomthandazo had a nice little house there, and she was among the first people in her community to own an oven where she could roast a leg of lamb. So Nomthandazo went and got herself a nice juicy piece of lamb, and she measured it out, and her oven was very, very small, so it didn't quite fit the leg of lamb, that is. And so she would always cut just a little piece off the end of the lamb so that the lamb could fit in the oven. The whole community would smell this leg of lamb, and everybody would knock on the door to try and visit so they can have a taste, but there was never enough because there was always this piece that was cut off and was not included in the oven. Needless to say, she had a daughter. She passed that recipe down. Nomthandazo's daughter would also make this leg of lamb, cut the piece off at the end, put it in the oven. Eventually, the daughter grew up. She got her own home. She got her own oven, and she would cut off a piece of the leg of lamb, put this lamb in the oven whenever she'd make it. It was the talk of the town. The daughter goes on to have a child as well, little girl. And the little girl, Yama 2000, now Yama 2000. Yeah, the Vrpa children, that generation, the ones who call President Ramaphosa by their first name, to my funeral. But is that Cyril? That generation. So the daughter goes to the mom, and the mom, teach me how to make this leg of lamb. The mom says, no problem. You first cut off the piece at the end, and then you do this, you put some balsamic vinegar, you do this, you do that. Wonderful. The daughter does this. After a while, she realizes, no, man, there's never enough of this lamb because I cut off the end all the time. I'm going to ask my mom why we do that. Mom, why is it that whenever we make a leg of lamb, we have to cut off the piece at the end? The mom says, no, that's just how things are done. That's just how you do this thing. If you want to make a winning leg of lamb, cut off the end and then start basting this thing like I taught you. But being a 2000, ama-fees must fall. Luckily, Nomthandazo was still alive, and the granddaughter went to Ugogo one day. Gogo, Mom says she got this recipe from you. Every time we make this leg of lamb, we cut off a piece at the end. If I can just make this piece at the end, it would be enough for everybody who wants to have. So I want to know, why do we do that? And the grand said, no, it's simple. It's because my oven was small, and therefore I could not fit the whole leg of lamb in there. Nomthandazo's daughter had enough space in her oven, and yet she would cut off a leg. The granddaughter had enough space in the oven, yet she would also do the same. I use this analogy, ladies and gentlemen, to say there are things that have always been done for years, maybe even decades, a particular way. A way that no longer serves the current generation, a way that no longer is efficient or effective or even prudent. There are things that are being done that were done only because that's how we do things. And so today I'm quite excited because the Road Accident Fund is saying, no, we're not going to do things the way they've been done because that's how you do things. We're going to stop. We're going to look back, we're going to listen, we're going to understand what the needs of our customers are, what the needs of our claimants are. We're going to be claimant central. We are going to be customer focused. We're going to get a bottom-up approach to how we do things, as opposed to just a top-down, this is how things are done. So today we're going to see them fully utilize the oven and cook the entire leg of lamb as it should. We're going to see them fully utilize the resources at their disposal to really become accessible to those who need it the most, to cut out the middleman as and where possible, and to deliver justice where justice is due. I'm excited because this means this is a listening entity. I'm excited because this means this is an entity really with the people in mind. This is not just an entity that wants to tick boxes of we've delivered on the leg of lamb. They want to say, how do we become efficient, effective, prudent, accessible to those who need us the most? So can we please give them a round of applause? I always say, cost of living in South Africa is difficult, it's high, and times are tough, but a round of applause is free, Bazalwan. Please, it's free. Thank you so much. May we be generous with that hand clap throughout the proceedings. Thank you very much. Can we please turn our attention to the screens? There are some on the side and some in front. We're going to get a sense of what it means for them to be accessible, to be able to be reached by the masses in South Africa. They are launching a contact center where you and I and all our cousins and friends will be able to access the Road Accident Fund. Let's get some context now, ladies and gentlemen. Can we turn our attention to the screen, please?
Hey everyone, great news. In 2023, the Road Accident Fund is making big improvements. We have introduced a digital customer engagement to make it easier for you when you need to deal with us. You can now contact us on our new contact center number, which is 087-820-1111. This is a big deal because it means that the Road Accident Fund is getting better at helping people like you who submit motor vehicle accident claims. We want to make the process smoother and faster. We're also cutting out the unnecessary steps so that you don't have to deal with the repeated paperwork or anything like that. It's all about making the process simpler for you.
The first part of our call center is the inbound contact center, which is tier 1. They are responsible for receiving calls from claimants or attorneys. What they focus on is first call resolution, depending on what the query is. It could be regarding payment or just a follow-up on the status of the claim. They will be able to provide that information. If they do not have that information, what they will do is that they will consolidate and dispatch the ticket to tier 2, which is made up of the admin side of things and then also the outbound team. The outbound team is responsible for following up and providing information to the claimant based on their query, and then also just to ensure that they follow up on calls that have maybe gotten disconnected due to network difficulties or whatever the case might be. And the admin side of things, they focus on making sure that everything, all the documents are in order before the ticket is dispatched to tier 3, which is responsible for finalizing the claim and making sure that it's successfully resolved.
So if you need to reach out to the RAF for any claims-related queries, simply call the new contact center number and we'll be there to assist you every step of the way. It's all about making things simpler for you.
Round of applause, please. I think also something that is quite important for us to be mindful of is the importance of the Road Accident Fund. Minister, you alluded to it briefly as we were in the holding room. And one of the things I had learned early on when I was in transport is that this entity is so important that many have even pegged it as possibly the single largest concern or threat to the fiscus. I'm told that touch is a move. One wrong move, la eraf, could collapse the state. And so you ask yourself, who better to be at the helm of such an organization than someone who is no nonsense, who is cutthroat, someone whose no is no, whose yes is yes, but who does so not to throw his weight around or for pomp and arrogance, etc., but who does so for the sake of doing the right thing. I met this individual while I was still at the Department of Transport, and I thought to myself, that is the guy. Before you approach him, Loena, you must have your story in order. We thank you so much for the work that has already begun and the work that continues. I'm going to ask the CEO to please come to the podium now and give us a broad overview of what else we have in store. Thank you so much.
Good morning. This is my voice. It's not the... I was asked whether this is a radio voice or this is my voice. So it's my voice. My son is even worse. Thank you very much for blessing us with your presence here. Thank you, Minister, for the support. Thank you, TM, for the support. I know it has not been easy for us. Thank to the board members, the ones that are coming in are new, and the ones that have been reappointed to come back to the board. Thank you so much for the support. This is a birth. made out of blood, sweat, and tears. And I think I'm not a very emotional person, but today I've got a lump on my throat. The reason being that when we started in 2019, this is what we envisioned, and we never thought it would happen. And so we wanted to conceive, and the baby was not coming. So it was a very difficult process to come to this fruition today. But what gives me pride is the fact that the team never lost hope. We never relented. And I must say, Minister, at the Road Accident Fund, a lot of things are done by the team itself. You are going to struggle to find consultants doing this work. So we work very, very hard. People don't sleep. And we try to produce for our people the best we can. And I think that's what we have done. So this is going to help us to resolve a lot of issues. One of the issues is being asked every time, where is my claim? How far is it? And the most important, how much was paid? Because I think the lawyers are going to hate this the most. And we understand why they will hate this the most, because they tend to take more than what they are supposed to take of the claims, and they actually do not give the party costs back to the claimant as it's expected. South Africans must know that when you get a claim from RAD, the loss of earnings you get, past medicals you get, but there is a thing called party costs that for years lawyers have been owning and taking amongst themselves because our people did not know. This is an empowerment tool to our claimants. And for us, those are the most important people. We've become claimant-centric over the years. This is the person that pays the bills and the person we worship, which is the claimant here at the Road Accident Fund. Our care principles at the center of that, which is integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, excellence, and most of all, empathy. This is the part that deals with the empathy part. People must know when we deal with their claims that we know there are people behind those claims. We don't just see paper, we see the people. So this contact center is going to be part of what we are going to do. It's the beginning. It's not the end of anything. It's the beginning of it. And we welcome our claimants to come in and phone 087 820 1111. That's the number to call. And I can assure you that we have got 300 people waiting for that call and wanting to make sure that they assist you in any way possible. I'm going to take a lot of time. A lot will be said by the Minister in the keynote address. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. I think, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to steal the last minute that was due to the CEO because he came in under on time. For me, what is most important is the bit that you spoke about when it comes to empathy. Being mindful of the context within which South Africa exists. We have challenges such as data, airtime, and those kind of constraints. Someone goes into an unfortunate accident. They are trying to reach the Road Accident Fund, but there are limitations and constraints as basic as airtime. In that instance, I must borrow, I must ask, I must use all of these things to access somebody on the other side. And so one of the groundbreaking features of this contact center that we're going to explore is the outbound calls. So we know that they're inbound calls, you're able to receive calls, etc. But now the dynamic of being able to call out as the Road Accident Fund, when someone called and maybe the call cut, or just as they said, hello, airtime yaphela, RAF is able to call that person back. And it may seem minuscule for you and I, some of you are on contract phones, but for those who are the majority in South Africa, that's life-changing. To be able to get a call back and say, you had called us, we saw that the call cut, is there anything we can help you with? Is one of the small things that makes a big difference. It's the little things that count, if you ask me. And for me, that's quite groundbreaking. Something else that you spoke about was that accessibility and responsiveness, to be able to say, here is a number that people can call, and there will be somebody on the other side of the line. And of course, I think another thing that's important is the integration. Somebody calls or sends an email or called maybe one of the offices in Limpopo or in the Eastern Cape or whatever the case is, and their case is being handled by 5 or 6 different people. And every time you call, you say, I spoke to that person and that person and that person. Now there'll be an integration so that whoever you call or email or WhatsApp, your ticketing system, as it were, is able to track to say, oh, Ayanda called and emailed and WhatsApped and did all those kind of things. And so we know where she is in the process. Again, it's the little things. It's those details that really, really increase the value of what you do as RAF and really, really deliver best as possible to those who need your services most. I'm not going to waste much time. I'm going to ask now that the Deputy Minister Mangu come and address us on stage and also go to great lengths to speak about some of these changes and why they're necessary. A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Ms. Roast Leg. That's the new name we'll give it. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's very, very exciting to be here and be part of the midwives, as the CEO said, of giving birth to such technology. But let me recognize Minister of Transport, Ms. Sindisiwe Chikunga. It's such a honor, it's such a wonderful thing to work with the minister. A lot of knowledge on the industry, a lot of experience. And at times we don't say these things, but we need to say them in front of everyone here and say, we've got one of the best ministers around. Thank you so much for your excitement. Thank you for guiding us and guiding me particularly. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I know she didn't see it coming. But CEO, chairperson, fresh from the box, new members of the board, all fresh. If you smell, you'll smell new leather. It's the board members, that leather. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media present here, the Fourth Estate. It's really an honor and privilege to be here. Also, always to be there in front and be part of this journey that is being taken. It's one of the most encouraging steps that the RAF has taken towards greater responsiveness to customer needs, as was articulated earlier by both the program director and the CEO. And it's always good to see this in this day and age. This is efficiency gains that serve to bolster the sixth administration, whose aims was to improve overall service delivery as a path to fixing transport. Many people, when you talk transport, they tend to think about potholes, roads, and the potholes now have become a thing of the past in the main. But the Road Accident Fund has always been seen in the negative light. But I think the strides that we are seeing and the improvements of this groundbreaking achievement today leave a lump in the throat, as the CEO said. Because for many people, with all the relentless attacks on all sides, one could have just said, you know what, let's leave it as it is. So we are very, very encouraged as the Department of Transport. We are pleased with the transformational initiatives that the Road Accident Fund is undertaking to address the challenges faced by the claimants, who are the main important people in this journey. The introduction of the CRM, as I will call it, signals a crucial strategic intent of this organization to place the claimant at the center of our transformation journey. Previously, the RAF claims and stakeholders used various platforms which the CEO alluded to earlier, to access services and obtain information from the fund. These included email, post, social media, telephone, and walk-in centers. These platforms are fragmented and not consolidated. The program director alluded to this integration that she's excited about, which often results in poor responses and general non-responsiveness to queries and complaints directed at the Road Accident Fund. Program Director, ladies and gentlemen, this is a significant step once more in fulfilling the thematic aims of this year of the claimant, as the executive and the board of the Road Accident Fund declared this year to be. So the decision was to declare this year the year of the claimant. It serves as a commitment by the organization to significantly change the claimant's experience. The launch of this Road Accident Fund Contact Center today signals an important milestone towards improving the lives of the claimants, who are the people of this country. Keeping the claimants informed throughout the claims process is at the heart of the contact center, so that at any given point in time you know what's happening. It includes updating them on the status of their claims until payment is made. And some of these things the CEO eloquently alluded to earlier on. Through the CRM we are launching today, the Road Accident Fund will be able to centralize all customer interactions, regardless of the channel used by the claimant or stakeholder. The CRM will enable the RAF to measure its performance also against customer relationship targets, such as the rate of query and complaints resolution at the age of unresolved queries and complaints. In addition, Know Your Rights campaign, which is one of the capabilities which have been activated already. It serves as an educational process for motor vehicle accident victims in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, this empowers the claimants to take control of the claim process without the need of the attorney or a middle person. As part of the overall efforts to improve the service to the claimants, more work is underway to activate other campaigns wherein claimants are kept informed and empowered of their rights and responsibilities, as well as requirements to lodge claims. Internally, the Road Accident Fund has also included empathy as part of the organizational values, as part of the I-CARE approach to the delivery of services. I-CARE is an abbreviation of the totality of values we have adopted, which include I for integrity, C for compassion, A for accountability, R for respect, one E for excellence, and the other E for empathy, all of which reaffirm the Road Accident Fund's commitment to walk the journey with their claimants. In order to sustain this change, the Road Accident Fund has aligned various people management processes. For instance, the performance management process has been realigned to the organizational values through the 360-degree system, amongst others. This is intended to drive behavior change and to inculcate a new organizational culture that places claimants at the heart of the transformation journey. What's next? One would ask. The near future will produce even greater improvements to the system. The implementation of the CRM is continuing as we launch today, with the next phase focusing on the introduction of other capabilities which underpin the claimant's process. This will ensure that these capabilities are well strengthened to address claimants' queries speedily. And lastly, Program Director, we are certainly pleased, excited, jubilant. If Benkwazu jive, Abengzo jive. With these changes being announced today, which will go a great distance towards reputational repair, and I thus hope the public and especially the claimants will appreciate these changes with greater satisfaction. while this will also be a significant expression of future intents that must drive away those that have been our lifelong detractors, let us all work together to ensure the success of the changes being introduced. I hope I've come in less than some time to give you some time. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, DM. Much appreciated. You know, just listening to some of the changes that are being brought about and will be implemented, I thought to myself, yeah, this is good for the claimant. This is going to ruffle some feathers for those who have been abusing the system for far too long. Change is necessary, change is difficult, but change must be done in order for those who need the help the most to receive it. We have far too many road collisions in this country, and we know the adverse effects of those collisions. To those who survive, it is lifelong. The consequences cannot be erased, they cannot be minimized, but sometimes they just get a fraction of what is due to them because of those who are unscrupulous and who are hell-bent on abusing the system. So this is definitely going to ruffle some feathers, but the feathers must be ruffled. You know, thinking about the changes, Minister, and the kind of strength that you're going to need leading this ship, I was reminded of the words of Udadu Nelson Mandela. I love to recite these words because they make me introspect and ask myself, what am I living for and what am I willing to die for? And he said, and I quote, "I have fought against white domination. I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunity. It is an ideal for which I strive and hope to achieve, but if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." This is a man who was willing to lay down his life for a cause that he believed in. And I always say to people, I obviously have not laid down my life for anything because I'm still alive. But I think to myself, as heroic and amazing a feat as that must be for you to really be a martyr, one dies but once, and the deed is done. I think, and it's just a hunch, it takes more guts to live for what you believe in. And fortunately for us, Udada did both. He lived for what he believed in, but he was also willing to lay his life down for what he believed in. But the challenge then remains for us who are alive. Not only what are you willing to die for? Good, well and good. But what are you willing to live for? Because that choice you make every day. When there is a bribe leveled your way to say, you work for Ralph, let's do something. A lawyer reaches out to you. You ask yourself, not what am I willing to die for, what am I willing to live for? Will I live by these values that we ascribe to here as Ralph? And for me, that is the most important. So as we sit here and we talk about these changes, those of us who work not only for the RAF, but Department of Transport, those of us who are in the legal fraternity, those of us who say we want to see a better South Africa, what are you willing to live for? And what decisions do you need to make every day to make sure that you are living for what you say you believe in? So these changes, they are definitely going to upset people. But I think what I'm relaxed about is that we have a leadership that lives for what they believe in. Every day, in every decision, in every way. And this woman I'm about to call up, I have seen in action many, many, many years back, from when she was deputy minister, then she came into the department again as I was making my exit, and then she became minister. But throughout the journey, Minister, I've seen someone who not only was willing to lay down their life, as we have evidenced through your history of struggle, but someone who now says, I am also willing to live for what I believe in, live to implement these changes that I see, live to upset status quo, live to bring about changes so that the people can benefit. We thank you for that, and we ask you to please come and give us the official address, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Program Director Ayanda, Deputy Minister of Transport, Honorable Lisa Mangu. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the chairperson of our board, Road Accident Board, fresh from the box, Ms. Lorraine Francois, members of our board, and we appreciate that you've accepted the offer to serve in this important entity. CEO of Road Accident Fund, Mr. Collins Litswalo. I worked with him at the Department of Transport. He was CFO. He will say to me, DM, you want to do this, this is the right way. You do it within the legal framework, this is how it will be done. You'll still achieve it, but doing it this way so that there are no comebacks. I never heard. And he used to guide me. So I'll call him to say, I want 1, 2, 3, 4 done, but I want it done within the law. And we'll say, if you want it done that way, this is the way. And we'll do it, and we'll still achieve whatever we want. And therefore, I hold him in high regard. I know he is one of our best, in fact, I think for me, best CFO we've had in the public service. And I want to believe that he'll definitely be one of our best CEOs. As CFO, you'll get anything, not with Colin Litswalo. When we say we need National Treasury to give us more money, he will go and argue, you'll get the money. And he will come and say, we found it. And he will do it as the CFO, very knowledgeable. And I worked with him for quite some time, honestly. And I think I'm happy that we're still working together. Officials from both the Department of Transport and Road Accident Fund, distinguished guests, members of the media. I feel like saying halala, Road Accident Fund, halala. We are happy. And I think I just want to say, let me take this moment to thank Road Accident Fund for the invitation to this important launch of the Customer Relationship Management Solution, which is certainly a very important step in the repositioning of this entity called Road Accident Fund. It is significant that the formal announcement of both the CRM solution and the Attendant Customer Center being launched today takes place during the October Transport Month campaign, which was launched by, in fact, approved by Cabinet in 2005 and was launched by the Department of Transport in 2007, at a time when we showcase our achievements which contribute towards the realization of a better life for all our people. And it has been said by both the CEO and the DM, we're also launching this during the year where we have said it is the year of the claimant. This is the target group for RAF, claimants. They serve claimants, road accident claimants. They may come as victims themselves, they may come as beneficiaries, but they are all claimants. And that is what is all about. RAF is all about. Our service delivery mandate across all modes requires a customer-centric approach to ensure responsiveness to the needs of our people. The hard work RAF has placed in the transforming its operating model places the interest of the beneficiary at the center of its operations. Today's launch is a culmination of this process and marks a major milestone in Road Accident Fund transformation. As you have indicated, Ayanda, I was redeployed to the Department of Public Service and Administration. I came back, then there were changes. And some of them I didn't understand. And I would say to the CEO, I have 150 to 1,100 questions. And I would want you, I will be whispering to him. Sometimes I led a Road Accident Fund to Parliament. And I listened to the presentation. Then after that, I said to him, I have 157, 1,100 questions. And he said, it's important, DM. We are ready to respond to those. So we secured an appointment. It started in the evening until the following day in the morning. So we were sitting together, myself and him, and he had a presentation ready. And he took me through. And I would say, no, stop there. What does this? My understanding is 1, 2, 3, 4. Why this? Then it's going to, sometimes you'll have to go back and explain it again. In the morning when we departed, I said, now I understand these changes that we are bringing and you're talking about, and I congratulate you for that. And at some stage, I was worried that, hey, I maybe did not even report to the wife that I'm going to meet the deputy minister. So the wife might be worried as to where my husband is until morning. And it could mean that when he goes back, he'll have to explain that I was actually sitting with the deputy minister for the whole night. And it was, but I benefited. I got to understand the reasons why they're bringing the changes and got to understand it much better, because we don't deal with technical issues as politicians. We deal with policy issues. Sometimes they're up there. But he took me through to the extent that I got to understand as to these changes, what these changes are all about. The RAF started this transformation journey in 2020. And central to this important task is the implementation of key strategic initiatives aimed at turning around the operations of the fund. The transformation journey is anchored, as it has been said, on 2020-2025 strategic plan, which outlines key organizational initiatives needed to turn the fund around. And we definitely want to do that. And what they've presented to us is not something that does not turn anything around. It does turn something around. You know, at some stage when one entity was making the presentation to me, to us, and I said to them, but you've made the presentation, but just give me one thing that is turning this entity around, one thing out of what you have said. And there was nothing, as a matter of fact. And I'm happy that with Road Accident Fund, there is a lot that is turning Road Accident Fund around. And it's not like we will not ask questions. No. It's not like we will agree with everything. No. We'll still say, explain this to us. And we'll hold them accountable, because this is what we are there for, to oversight and to oversee them, not to agree where we know we're not agreeing. We want to agree because we are convinced that we should and we can also agree. And that is what they are here for. The Road Accident Fund has experienced fundamental challenges over the years, and I know them. This hampered the RAF's ability to effectively deliver on its constitutional mandate of administering claims for those who are victims or affected by crashes on our roads. The fragmented claiming process, siloed operations, unintegrated ICT systems, and unfavorable organizational culture, among other things, contributed to the current organizational challenge. Road Accident Fund got known to be where you can make money out of nothing. If you want to be a millionaire today and continue to claim millions of rands for nothing sometimes, Road Accident became just that entity. And we say it has got to change. The customer satisfaction survey conducted over the years highlighted key problems experienced by the claimants with respect to the service they have been receiving from the fund. And these include, but not limited to, the following: non-responsiveness to claimants' queries across the claims value chain. And I think, as it was said during the briefing there, when I say I'm Minister of Transport or Deputy Minister of Transport, somebody is going to raise the hand and say, but I have a claim with RAF, I don't know what is happening. And you'll send the message sometimes to whoever to say, can you check this for me so that I can then respond? CEO will testify to this so that I can respond to the claimant, because they will not know as to where their claims and what is happening with their claims, yet they are claimants. But they don't know what is happening there with their claims, but they are claimants, but they don't know what is happening with their claims. It's bad. You are a claimant, but you don't know what is happening with the claim. It doesn't make sense. High rate of repeat calls, lack of central place to handle queries effectively and efficiently, limited systems and tools to optimally manage call center operations. With a staff complement in excess of 3,000 employees and more than 25 physical and digital platforms, it became cumbersome to track documentation, queries, and complaints that are received and the status of each document. Ayanda and the members of the board, ladies and gentlemen, the Customer Relationship Management Initiative is a strategic response to these challenges, I'm told, and I just want to see it and definitely we will be monitoring this. Myself and the Deputy Minister, RAF being delegated, will definitely be monitoring this. In developing its 2020-2025 strategic plan, it became clear that Road Accident Fund required a solution to address the stakeholders' pain points from a people, process, and technology perspective, so that we don't live the Noah age today. As old as Noah, Ngena Noah. You know, today, Noah would have built that ark within days or even a day with technology that we have today. So good as he did a good job during his time, but it was during then. Today, we need something new. And the RAF therefore needed a solution. It needs a solution that could centralize and optimize all inquiries handling, acting as a central point of key claimant interactions, and further provide a holistic view of organizations' interactions with claimants and other stakeholders at large. For the RAF, this CRM is a business strategy for improving service delivery. So it's not something about somebody out there, but it is for them to improve service delivery. This is done by focusing on customer needs and creating an attentive relationship with its stakeholders. It involves a personalized and interactive approach for the entire claimant life cycle. I am your customer, as a matter of fact, if you don't know. And this, therefore, is not for other people, but it is also for me as well, because I'm also your customer at this moment. CRM is a holistic approach to manage customer relationships through its ability to combine people, processes, and technology to understand and serve our RAF's customers. Furthermore, CRM provides analysis of customer data and behavior patterns, which can improve businesses and decisions to improve customer value. You know, I was in Prague last week, and they took us to their ICT center. And when we were there, we said, oh, okay, you've got these systems, they're working. But I was comparing theirs with the Central one, the ICT center for Central. And I said, as a matter of fact, we're way ahead of you, way ahead of you. It's just that ours are not integrated. And probably we don't go out and tell people and tell the world that when it comes to other ICT infrastructure, South Africa is doing good. But this, which we are launching today, is actually confirming, and it is testimony to what we say, and sometimes we don't go out to boast about it. And that is why, for me, this cannot just be the launch and thank you very much. We've got to go out to the people of South Africa and make them aware. We've got to talk about it. We've got to market so that they know, even those who are not your claimants and therefore not your target group, but they must know that there's something that is so good that is happening at Road Accident Fund. And thanks to your executive, thanks to the staff of Road Accident Fund, thanks to the CEO, thanks to the board that actually provides leadership, thanks to DM, thanks to everybody else that is here and providing leadership. Through CRM, the RAF will be able to centralize all customer interactions, regardless of the channel used by the claimant or stakeholder. CRM will enable the RAF to measure its performance against customer relationships targets, such as the rate of query and complaints resolutions and the age of unresolved queries and complaints. So you'll know that this person has been querying this, and it's been for so long. Hey. Some of us who were born before technology, we wonder, hey, things can happen this way today. The underlying goal is to develop trust between the Road Accident Fund and claimant. And really, I want to emphasize this point, Road Accident Fund and claimant. And of course, the rest of us as South Africans. Because if claimants are serviced properly and they get what they require, the information and everything, then they will be happy. But we there be supporting them and will be happy about it, to a point where they reach out to the fund instead of allowing themselves to be exploited by middlemen. And this is exactly what we would want to see happening, direct claims, and people knowing as to what is happening with their claims. Knowing, it's important. And from experience, it is important to know as to where your claim is. so that you know what to submit and what not to submit, whether you've submitted all the documents or not. It is important. The CRM solution intends to centralize and optimize all inquiries handling and acting as a central port for all key information and documentation related to claims and legal administration, thereby generally improving the customer experience. In line with strategy, operating, and servicing model, the CRM solution will contribute towards improved RAF service delivery as the solution aims to enhance the customer experience and improve the management of operational service levels and subsequently improve the customer satisfaction index. The CRM solution will assist the Road Accident Fund in the quest to improve customer experience and transform the Road Accident Fund into a more customer-centric and efficient organization through improved processes, better management of turnaround times, and general improvement in management of relationships with claimants. The solution is further anticipated to assist with the improvement of governance and to strengthening of organizational controls. The RAF envisaged a contact center that would have dedicated customer platforms to provide tailored services to claimants. During the deliberations of which customer platforms would be prioritized and driven through the CRM solutions, the RAF considered the outcomes of the RAF customer satisfaction survey, which highlighted key drivers of customer dissatisfaction, such as failure to follow up or provide feedback, complaints which were not fully resolved satisfactorily, and a general lack of understanding of RAF claim processes. And this is true. It's not just something written, it is true. Claimants did not understand how RAF works. They will never know as to where their complaints are. They will never know as to where their claims are and what is happening with them. Sometimes they will not even know that claims has actually paid to somebody. They will not know. So they will still be asking you, wherever you are, can you check for me as to where my claim is? When you check, RAF says, but no, we paid this person a year ago. But the claimant doesn't know and sometimes get nothing. And when you then approach those that were paid, they will tell you that you can go to court. And that's it. Then you don't know, you feel this pain. Because you have this somebody who sometimes is supposed to get more services from RAF, but is not getting those services because if this middle person is to communicate that to this person, first he must say, you were paid. And would not want the claimant to know that he's been paid. And therefore the claimant will suffer when probably he qualifies for a wheelchair, probably he qualifies for further medical aid, and so on and so forth. But they will not be benefiting because somebody will not tell them. I'm not talking a story, I'm talking something that has been happening. And if we are to resolve that, for me, it means that RAF is on the road and RAF is actually doing what it is supposed to do on the road to be the best entity that we want it to be. RAF customer satisfaction survey further identified effective resolutions of queries and communication as areas which required the most improvement by Road Accident Fund, as these recorded the lowest satisfaction scores. A strategic partner specializing in omnichannel CRM solutions, data management, and analytics was engaged by Road Accident Fund to assist in implementing a CRM solution and related services. It is anticipated that the CRM solution, called Digital Customer Engage DCE, will provide dedicated platforms for interaction with claimants and stakeholders in the following various areas. The first one is claims management, where claims will interact, and claimants, in fact, will interact with the RAF to lodge claims and follow up claims process. 2, complaints management, where claimants can register complaints or compliments. 3, litigation and trial management, where claimants' representatives will be able to serve summonses, communicate, set down notices, and submit court orders. 4, medical management, where claimants will be able to get support in relation to medical appointments, get authorization for treatment, and receive and make inquiries in relation to medical undertakings. I see that you're also joined by other CEOs, the CEO of Artia, Mr. Matsimela. We recognize you. I think I've also seen others. I don't know whether there are others, but you are recognized. Finance, where claimants and suppliers will be able to submit remittances and invoices and follow up on payment status. This will further enable effective request and not yet paid management, RNYP, ensuring that the RAF and the law firms and RNYPs are aligned. So RAF is not anti-law firms, but all that Road Accident Fund wants is justice for claimants. Justice, period. I say to myself that it cannot be that sometimes you have a feeling that somebody went to university for 4 years and studied just one law, Road Accident Fund Act, and qualified and came back to practice. It cannot be. 4 years is too long for one act. It's too long. So it can't be. Because sometimes you get that feeling. Really, you get that feeling that there are people whose life is dependent on nothing but Road Accident Fund. If Road Accident Fund is changing, then they will want to fly, and it cannot be. They're professionals. They can do other things. They can practice open private practices. There are so many criminals out there. They need all of us, and so on. And nobody goes to court without a lawyer in South Africa. So there's a lot of work, and there's demand. So it cannot be that it's about Road Accident Fund only. Pre-claim management, where insured drivers will be able to communicate accident information to Road Accident Fund, where emergency medical services and other stakeholders will be able to provide accidents and injured information to facilitate the activation of medical case management. So your Road Accident Fund understands that its claimants should be managed as an important asset. CRM is a solution that the RAF has implemented to understand its claimant groups and respond quickly and at times instantly to shifting claimant needs. The Road Accident Fund will have a single profile of all these claimants' interactions, regardless of whether the interactions took place telephonically, by email, physically, on social media, for each claimant. So with us, the old ones, whether we wrote a letter with the address on the right side of the paper and then Dear Road Accident Fund, they will still be processed. CRM technology will allow Road Accident Fund to collect and manage large amounts of claimant data and carry out strategies based on that information. Through CRM, the Road Accident Fund will be able to manage its resources more effectively, eliminating duplication of efforts and improving internal communication in a way that adds value to claimants across the claims value chain. Through the CRM solution and the insight that will be gained, the Road Accident Fund will be able to drive targeted marketing campaigns according to the needs of each claimant segment. Program Director, through the CRM solution, 300 young people, previously disadvantaged, were employed during the first quarter of this financial year, 2023-2024. And the CEO told us that over and above, there are about 45 also. So it's not just 300, but it's 345 people that have actually been employed in a country with high unemployment, particularly of young people. This enables the fund to contribute towards skills development for the youth so that they are best placed to access opportunities. The Road Accident Fund will also facilitate skills development, ensuring the youth access to available employment opportunities across the sector. Since the implementation of the CRM solution on the 3rd of July 2023, the Road Accident Fund has recorded a total of 78,447 inquiries with an average resolution rate of 90% across all active customer platforms. Additionally, the Road Accident Fund has been able to successfully track and resolve over 90% of queries and complaints received. The Road Accident Fund has improved its service levels, which currently stands at 99.93%. And this is the rate at which calls received are answered within 20 seconds. The fund has noted a steady decline in the rate of repeat callers, a key indicator that queries and complaints are being resolved successfully and claimants are receiving the information and assistance they require. The above-mentioned improvements are reflective of the improved proficiency levels of the 30 agents who went through a rigorous training intervention which covers key aspects of claims process as an organization. Work is underway to implement phase 2 of the CRM journey, DM indicated to that, whilst also is preparing to bring an integrated claims management system over the next few months. This will enable the fund to settle a significant number of claims within 120 days, whilst also reducing legal costs. The claimants have been and will continue to be lifeblood. The claimants have been and will continue to be the lifeblood of the Road Accident Fund, and the fund has declared, as it has been said, 2023 as the year of the claimant. We thank you, the board of Road Accident Fund, and I also want really to appreciate the work of the previous board that took us to where we are today. The chairperson of the board, Ms. Msibi, who led this board, in fact the former board, during the most trying times, when they were bringing this change, everybody was criticizing, and they insisted and said this is the right thing to do. We want to really thank the former board for that. And the current board, this is the mandate you have from us. Are we still going to come and address the board so that you know exactly as to what we want you to do here at the Road Accident Fund? As part of the overall effort to improve the service to the claimant, work is underway to activate a Buzz Us campaign wherein claimants who get disconnected for whatever reasons, it may well be limited airtime, network failure, etc., are able to make a call me back request. Oh, that addresses my people in the rural part of South Africa where I come from. Call me back. Then they call back, then you can then tell them as to what the issues are that you'd want Road Accident Fund to assist you with. In addition, Road Accident Fund has also launched a new customer care number, and I will want to repeat it so that we all know it. And I think it will be important that we market this so that South Africans know this number, 087 820 1111, as well as the new centralized email account, which is customerservice@raf.co.za, to signal the break from the past. Distinguished guests, as I conclude, it is clear that the Road Accident Fund has truly broken away from some of the inefficiencies that have characterized its operational model, resulting in immense dissatisfaction amongst its claimant clientele. Through the adoption and implementation of the CRM solution, we have no doubt that this will yield tangible outcomes in the form of reversal of the tarnished reputation and bring speedier closure to client claims and queries. This is indeed a great stride towards a more efficient organization that appreciates its mandate as rendering an invaluable services to the people. We will continue to exercise our oversight role to ensure that the gains of the intervention we are launching today will be built on and deliver a responsive Road Accident Fund that executes its mandate and does that with diligence at all times. So yes, we are building a better Road Accident Fund. And I say today's Road Accident Fund is better than yesterday's Road Accident Fund. And tomorrow's Road Accident Fund will be better than today's road accident fund. And I thank you very much.
I think we can do better. I have a sneaking suspicion we can do better. Thank you so much, Minister. Indeed, I want to echo your sentiments as well. Nami sengbambe ispirit singathi halala road accident fund halala. Absolutely. I also wait with bated breath and eager expectation to see the fullness of this program really being unveiled and launched. I'm excited about the next steps that are coming, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to see what we're going to unveil or launch or reveal to the public today. Remember, transport is the heartbeat of economic growth and social development. We cannot talk about the socio-economic progress or psychosocial advancement of South Africans without speaking about the transport sector. And what we're here to do today is an extension of that. It is an extension of that mandate to deliver services as best as we can, as soon as we can, to those who need it the most. I'm going to ask that we have a short little stretch of our legs. Now, we've been sitting for about an hour or so. We're going to do a walkabout where we're going to see the actual customer relations management center. We're going to see the contact center where the calls will be taken. The agents are standing by to field those calls, and we're hoping we can maybe strong arm the minister a little bit. Because I just thought to myself, imagine if I was calling today, how far it is, and then the minister says, it's Minister of Transport here, how can I take your call? You relax, and at the same time, how mama nishai. But on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, I'm going to ask that we be led by one of the officials from Road Accident Fund. If you can raise your hands. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. We will follow the leader. We'll see you on the other side after the walkabout, if we may come back speedily here just for the closing and the thank you address. So thank you so very much. So let's make our way back there.
So many people coming to see us.
caterer if they made, maybe they cut off the end. In this new dispensation, they must cook the whole thing.
Welcome back. Some of the colleagues still making their way. We'll give them another 30 seconds or so as they rush in. I feel like a DJ must be playing Wababiza Bonkunowa. Yes, now, now the song is stuck in my head since Minister mentioned it. Because now this is our Archaea technology that we are launching. Wababiza Bonke Road Accident Fund. What in Bulias Ozan? I've built an ark. Oh, Ngena no. Nesizugulane zakho. All right, I'm going to ask that we quickly make our way. Sorry to rush you, don't worry, we've come to the end of the proceedings. You'll be able to take a leisurely stroll shortly there afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, without much waste of time, please let us receive, before we receive the word of thanks, and please can we get a round of applause? I don't know what you saw there, but what I saw was impressive. What I saw was fitting, it was timely. I'm so excited that it's happening now. I wish it had happened sooner, but better late than never. Thank you very much for the outstanding work that has been done, that continues to be done, and I have no doubt will be done also in future. And with that, our vote of thanks. Please allow me to call upon the chairperson of the board, Miss, you told me your name is your surname is Francois, Lorraine Francois. I had to practice that one. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Halala RAF halala. Halala halala RAF halala. Aisafani ref. Change is upon us. My duty today is very simple, just to extend a vote of thanks to all the participants here in this room. Let me start by extending a word of gratitude to our Honorable Minister of Transport and our Deputy Minister. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence today. This is a groundbreaking moment for the RAF. You know, the Deputy Chair just told me that it took us almost 45 years, almost half a century to get to where we are today as the Road Accident Fund, just to actually make the claimant first priority, to put them first, because in the past, everybody else had to take the front line. But today we're saying that it's over. Change is here. We're putting Batopili, people first. Abantu kala phambili. This is just such a beautiful milestone. So I thank you very much, Minister and Deputy Minister. I just want to say we are living, you are starting, holding us to account. That's part of the I care values of the RAF. So you're holding us to account to say, what have you been doing? And we can see the fruits. Today, these are the fruits. People are actually saying, we can contact RAF. And a social benefit fund everywhere in the world, it's first and foremost for the poor people, for the indigent. It cannot be that we can put the lawyers first, the medical fraternity first, to say they must come first in front of the wheel. People must come first. People must know that they can walk this journey with us, that we are accessible. So thank you very much for holding us to account. And I just want to also thank our CEO and the executive team. You're just such a very powerful, entity to actually reckon with. When we appointed Collins almost 3 years ago, we had all the lawyers jumping, telling us that you can't, you have to stop the process. This is not the right person. They were looking for loopholes to stop the process. They didn't want us to actually appoint such a powerful person. We wouldn't be here, CEO, if it wasn't for you. We wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for your executive team, your leadership team, and all the other, RAF people. It's not just about the CEO. This man has created a culture of performance. You know, we're talking about an organization that is performing at 93%. Where have you seen that in South Africa today? But they are making it. You know, they're making it possible. You know, I just want to also extend a word of thanks to the media, because you are here. You are able to actually now extend this message to everybody, you know, the whole world. We want you to be responsible with this message. This is good news for the RAF. This is good news for the people of South Africa. You know, people of South Africa need hope today. We need hope. They've gone through a lot from the pandemic, and now we went through load shedding, and we've got high rates of unemployment. Just to see that we've opened up this launch, and we only not just reaching out to our clients, but we've created employment for the young people. 340 people, we've taken them out of the streets. They have a purpose now because of this RAF. Things are changing, and I just want to thank the CEO and the executive team. We are very proud of you. Just keep on with the good work. I also want to extend a word of thanks to our new board members. Thank you very much. You took out your time to actually come and celebrate. This is a celebration. And when you come into a new environment, you know, sometimes when you are appointed, you know, to a board and you've been seeing all the negative stuff, you know, in the media, you start thinking, am I in the right place? You know, should I pack my bags and run? I'm sure today, you know, your mindset has changed. You actually realize that there's so much good work that is happening in this organization. And it is about people. It is about the claimants. We've declared the year of the claimant, and now we are living those values. You see, this executive team, they are providing, bringing RAF closer to the people. They are saying, we care. We're going to treat you with integrity. We're going to treat you with respect. We're going to care about everything that you do. We're going to walk this journey with you. It's not about an event that happens once, you know, on that particular day when you have that accident. But we're going to walk the journey with you. We're going to rehabilitate you up until the time you can stand on your own. And so that is the most groundbreaking, to say, you have now a big brother called the Road Accident Fund standing by the side of the road, waiting to pick you up when something happens. Thank you very much, CEO, for such beautiful work that has been done today. Before I conclude, I just want to again emphasize the fact that this is a good story. We like the media to partner with us in spreading the good word. It's very important because there's hope to the people who actually say, I've been waiting on the queue for 4 years. Do you understand the impact on the people? When you've lost your parent, you've lost your loved one, you've lost your children, and then, you know, somebody, the middleman, is playing games with you. We're saying that is enough. You know, you have direct access. The veil is torn. You can have direct access. And thank you very much to the CEO for everything that has taken place today. Just to conclude, I just want to say, go out there and be the RAF ambassador. We need to spread the good news. We need to spread the good news that the RAF is different. It's no longer the same RAF. Don't listen to the naysayers. You know, when you're doing a good thing, change is the only constant this day and age. And we are now changing for the people. We are here for you. We are saying to the claimant, we are here for you. We're going to walk this journey. And you know, when you're involved in a car accident, it's a life-changing experience. It doesn't matter whether you come out of it with minor injuries. It just shakes your whole, you know, life, and you realize that, you know, it could have been worse. But knowing that there's going to be somebody that's going to make the journey easy for you, the pain, you know, easy for you. And we actually refining the process. We're making it easy for you to open the door, to access us, and then we walk. We say, what can we do to help you? And then we deliver. This is about results. So today, we want our media to be responsible and preach the right gospel. Let me just end here. Just go out there and be ambassadors to the RAF. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for everyone who has been here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Lorraine Francois, ladies and gentlemen, board chair, much appreciated. I think the job here is done. For me, what is left is to say thank you very, very much. It's been an eye-opener for myself as well. I must admit, I'm also one of the naysayers who was standing on the sideline saying, can this ship be turned around? It is big, it is a large vessel, and you ask yourself, can it ever be steered in the right direction? And what I saw today are not small steps, they're a huge leap in the right direction, and I'm encouraged by it. I'd like to say also, be encouraged as you bring about a lot of changes in legislation, changes in operations. It will not be easy, but it's absolutely necessary, and it is absolutely worth it. So you have my support in saying, go continue. As the minister said, what we are seeing today must not be a thank you very much for coming, enjoy the rest of your day. It is just the beginning. The continuation lies in the daily efforts that you do. I'd like to leave you with the words of former president, former head of state, Wetu Thabo Mbeki, who says, those who complete the course will do so only because they do not, as fatigue sets in, convince themselves that the road ahead is still too long, the inclines too steep, the loneliness impossible to bear, and the prize itself of doubtful value. So if we are really going to see the fruits of what we gathered here for today, it is only because of the consistency and the commitment to the course and your daily efforts and your daily grind. That is what is going to produce the tangible results that we all hope to see. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day.